and welcome to another video. I'm Ash and today I am sitting in the beautiful Noosa, located in the heart of the Noosa National Park here on the east coast of Australia. We've come up here for a few days to do some adventuring around the region and to show you a little bit of what this beautiful place has to offer. So, over the next few days, we're going to head down to Noosa Main Beach, we're going to go to the National Park, we're also going to try and find the Noosa Fairy Pools, hopefully do some snorkeling in there, and also potentially some canoeing or kayaking. See how the weather goes, and I'll take you with me. Catch you there! Snorkeling in there. This is where we are. We're going to go all the way around here, and when we hit Picnic Cove, that's where you start the rock scramble to go down to Fairy Pools. Paperbark tree. Paperbark trees are so cool. Are they called Melaleuca eucalypt? So that's what it's called. Paperbark.
Oh god, here she goes. Whoa! Hardcore parkour!
Parkour!
There you go.
At least I didn't stack it.
What's the geology of this actually?
So this is all basalt. So basalt, this is called Granite Bay, so I presume there's going to be some form of granite in it. I have to point out that the name here is ironic. The only granite in Granite Bay is actually the cobbles and boulders that you see on the beach, not the bedrock. What I read was that it was predominantly basalt bedrock up there, but this might be granite wash. Ting ting ting, we have a winner. So this is Granite Bay, and over there it's Little Cove or Palm Cove, I can't remember what it's called, and then past there are the Fairy Pools. Basalt that's fractured off from wind and wave erosion. There they are. Fairy Pools.
Don't tell me you were honestly going to snorkel in that.
I don't know. I didn't know how big they were. First little pool we went to, we were the only people that were here to begin with, and then 10 people rocked up, so it just wasn't nice. Oh wow, that's amazing. Slippery? I think so. pleasant surprise anyway. I was not expecting coral. So we just went to the larger mermaid pool. There are two. The first one was quite small. We were the first ones there, which is great, but then like as soon as another 3 people came, it was crowded. The one that we just swam at, that we saw the coral in, is just located down in there. I don't know whether you can see the people, but just down in there. So yeah, we just finished up at that big one. We had the entire pool to ourselves until we got out, and a whole bunch of other people rocked up. So we timed that perfectly. But because we were there with no one else, Brendan and I didn't kick up the sand, and we were there at low tide, which is when the waves don't get high enough to break over the wall that creates the pool. So it's really still water. But we've headed on out. It's getting quite crowded there and the tide's coming up, so the waves are breaking into the pool now. And we passed a few beaches on our way here. We're back. So this morning we ended up doing the fairy pools. That's about halfway along the coastal walk of Noosa National Park. It's not as far as Hell's Gates, which is like a lookout. It was amazing. So the first ones we went to, we thought they were like the big ones, or I thought that they were the big ones. They weren't. It was just a small little pool, and I was quite underwhelmed. It wasn't very deep. So we ended up scrambling back up the little rocks, the rock path that we found. We ended up actually leaving because all of the people came, and it was just getting so crowded and it just wasn't nice. Anyway, we were scrambling up the rocks. I went to take a few shots of the surrounding view. Then I saw it, the actual big fairy pools. So there's two. There's one down to the left, scramble down like the rocks, or you can walk along kind of like the rock ledges and then you look down and again scramble down. But the second one, it was deep. I reckon it was about 1.5 meters, 2 meters deep at some points. It was beautiful still because we had timed it for the low tide. So in all of the readings that I had done, it said go about half an hour to an hour before low tide, during low tide, and then only a bit after, because the way the rock pools are formed is it's scoured out previous basalt bedrock, and then there's a seawall that creates the pool. But then obviously for the new fresh water to come in, the new fresh salt water to come in, the waves have to break over the top. So in order to have the waves not break over the actual natural edge, it has to be low tide. And to do any snorkeling, you have to make sure that the waves aren't breaking because you want really still water. You don't want the sediments and sands to be disturbed. So we had timed it for that low tide. And thankfully when we got there was only one other couple that was moving on after we had just gotten there. So we had the whole pools to ourselves most of the time, and it was beautiful. A few other people ended up coming, so we moved on, and at that point the tide had also started to the tide had risen, so the waves were starting to break over the natural rock pool edge. So yeah, gonna head down, sunset on the beach, grab some food, and just chill out for the night. And then tomorrow, I think, we're going to adventure on the waterways with kayaks or canoes. See how we go. See what the next adventure is. Stay tuned. These beaches are west facing.